Hi, my name is Julie, and I am the teen librarian at the Central Branch Library, and today we're going to make some duct tape flower pens. So if you picked up the kit, you will have two bits of duct tape. There won't two different types. They'll be probably wrapped around a pencil. The one you have the most of is going to be your petals. The other one is going to be for your stem, and you should have a pen. And I would highly recommend grab a pair of scissors. We'll need it to get a nice little edge on the duct tape. You won't use it for a whole lot, but be careful. They can get a little gummy. All right, so to start, you're going to grab your pen, and we're going to put the flower around this edge of the pen so you can leave the cap on. So grab the duct tape that you're going to use the petals for. So if you have a printed one like this one is, that's probably going to be your petals because it gives you wonderful colors to the petals. So you can take a small piece of duct tape, I would say 6 to 8 inches. If you need to use an edge of a table to cut it, I'd use an edge of a table. I highly recommend don't go over 8 inches, particularly for this first little bit, because you don't have to be exact. Don't pull out a ruler. This is a fairly forgiving part of the project. Okay, so you get your little 6 to 8 inches, you lay it duct tape up. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold this long edge here on top of itself so that you only have about 1/3 of the duct tape exposed right there. So a good way to do it is use it in 2 hands, kind of fold it over and press it down from the center out. So, and we can estimate again. You don't need to pull out a ruler for this part. If it's a little off, it's fairly forgiving, so don't panic. And smooth it out. If you get a really big bubble, like right here, don't worry about it because we're going to cut that part and then you can squeeze that little bubble out if it bugs you. Okay, so grab your scissors again. And this is the part where you can get a little variation here. So you can take your scissors, and you know how you used to make grass and put little cut little slits? That's what you're going to do here. I would go a little less than 1/4 of an inch. It'll come out prettier if they're thinner. I wouldn't go over 1/4 of an inch. You can even go a little smaller. Just don't go too small because it is a lot of cutting. This is going to be the most of what you're doing for this project. So I'm cutting up to the sticky side. Don't cut through the sticky side. But again, it's probably not wasted if you cut it all the way through. You just have to work with smaller strips. Okay, so once you have your slits cut in it and it looks kind of like grass and that sticky side is exposed, you're going to grab your pen. And again, you're going to use that end of the pen, leave the cap on. And you're going to place it, and I find it easier to place the pen onto it right about there, right on that sticky side. And you're going to roll the pen and really kind of play with it however it's easy for you to stack this and roll this. I find it easier for at least the first go round to roll the pen and just hold that duct tape and kind of press it against it with my finger here. So what I do want to do, and this is the part where you do need to be a little careful, is this edge needs to be lined up with that edge as close as you can. Because if it starts kind of coming down, it's not going to make a good flower. So try to stack it. And if you end up getting some bubbles in here, you'll be okay. You can flatten it. You can even trim this right here if it was getting too bubbly and start over with another piece on top of it because we're going to do this in pieces. If you did it in one long roll, it would take forever and you'd be ending up with duct tape in your hair probably, because I know it sticks to itself and it gets all over and it's too hard to work with. So these short pieces make it really easy craft to do because you don't have to worry about too much about the stickiness of the duct tape. Okay, so once you finish that piece, just take a look and see, and right there I'm pretty much lined up on top of each other. It's not coming too far back or forth. And as you can see, you've already got some petals on your flower right there. So what we're going to do for most of the rest of this is we're going to repeat the same step with another piece of duct tape, continuing right around. So let's already have one cut. I'm going to show you how to start that one. So you're going to start basically where you left off. You don't have to line it up exact. You can put it over it a little bit. It won't make too much of a difference. And however you want to go around, and like I said, line up that edge again. Okay, so once you have your flower full enough that you like, and we should have given you enough duct tape that if you had to throw away a few pieces, no big deal. And you can kind of press it, yeah, I see. So you can kind of press them out in a minute and kind of fluff up your flower. As you can see, I went over a little bit, and that's okay. But if you start going over a little bit with lining up that duct tape in the middle, it makes it rather difficult to make a really good flower, but this gives you a nice little shape to your flower. All right, so you're going to grab the other piece of duct tape, and if your duct tape comes kind of like this, we're going to give it a nice clean edge because you're going to see that. So we're going to cut that one off in a second. All right, so for this, we don't need a really long piece of duct tape. Okay, maybe 3-4 inches. All right, so this is kind of hard to explain, but you're going to line it up where your sticky side of your duct tape for your petals was, and you're going to be covering up part of your pen as well. And you're just going to go around, and if you gave yourself too long of a piece, it's not a big deal, we're going to cut it. Or rather, you can cut it. You just kind of go up to that little edge, just that little bit under the bud of your flower. That's not too much over, so I'm going to just overlap it. All right, so this is where it gets, this is where it gets tough. If it sticks to itself, sometimes it doesn't always come off. So just be careful. It's going to stick to your pen, and you can stick it down to your pen, and it really kind of doesn't matter how it sticks to your pen. You just want to line up that little green edge right there, and just continue around and stick it down. And if you want, kind of twist it to the side. There you go. Stick to your pen like that. Okay, almost done. Another piece of that green or your stem colored duct tape, and another small piece. It doesn't have to be very big. Okay, here, depending on how far down you went, you may want to take the cap off just so it won't be in the way. So you're going to kind of, basically what we're going to do is we're going to put the duct tape right there. So it tapes this, all of this down. That's why, see, it's a little messy, and we're going to just keep it neat. Go in that same direction, though. You go right there. If you want, pull that one tight. We'll pull it in a bit more. If you make it too long, you can trim your duct tape. Okay? And it's a lot more flat. All right, and then you pull out your petals like that and make your pretty duct tape flower pen. You put your cap back on and it should fit. There you go. And we'd love to see a picture, so definitely tag us on Instagram with your pictures.